Fallen Arena PvP, the final battleground of PvP. Only the best of the best PvP players can fight here. That was for dramatic effect. Maybe only true for general too. At this time, a decent amount of win traders exist in this arena. So most likely there's some people who don't know what they're doing here. Previously, I was on Molten Arena, trying different strategies and meta for a bit. Eventually, I started to main a few towers, which are Shotgunner, Accelerator, Warden, Farm, Rocketeer, and Commander. Players were fairly competent in Molten Arena, and the natural wave structure of Molten Arena were tough. Ahem, Molten Mech. This guy is almost as strong as sending a few Molten Necromancers. Also, no one ever gets past wave 26 Molten Titan spam. So that's pretty much the sudden death of Molten Arena. But now in Fallen Arena, things are gonna get even harder with more competent players. Maybe even the wave structure too. So let's try Fallen Arena for the first time. I mean second, since I played it one time when I was a lieutenant. By the way, if you haven't noticed, this video was recorded way before the first PvP balance changes. So the meta I'm talking about in this video will be slightly different. PvP is also a bit different as well. Anyways, back to it. As always, Freezer got banned, and every ban are pretty much the meta towers for PvP. Solid bans already. I picked Farm, Shotgunner, Warden, and Mercenary Base. We both picked the Laser Stadium map. In early game Fallen Arena, it's pretty much the same as Molten Arena. Except Fallen Squire needs more defense to get through. Fallen Arena is far less spammy than Molten. In mid-game, it honestly felt easier with Warden since the natural wave is less pressuring than Molten. We're ending this game by rushing wave 20 Fallen Heroes. This feels the same as Molten Necromancer rush. He tried to do a counter rush but it was already too late. Yum. Seems like most players on Fallen Arena will actually rush you back if you begin rushing. And people still ask for win raids but they won't leave anymore if you reject. Because leaving gives them a penalty now, compared to before where you're off scot-free. After some PvP games I grew fond of playing on Judgment Hall. I find it hilarious to see people defend at front. It looks like a decent spot to defend at first. Though the loop is clearly better but people believe it's good enough. But later on in the game you can't sustain it at that spot compared to defending at the back. Eventually those enemies will get to the back so it doesn't matter to defend at front. Players are forced to defend at the back, which causes us to take more money from our passive income on wave 1. This will matter a lot on later waves. If you have this tower, Farm, you basically get an extremely huge economy advantage with this. I can just ignore these enemies since I know on 2 waves my Shotgunner will easily defend at the loop. So because of that, I can easily get easy wins in this map. This early in the game. Yummy 51 elo 2. PvP wasn't always equal with its map selection. In most of my PvP games, it is always on Crash Course, since it's an easy map with a weird priority system when voting maps. No matter what map you pick, if Crash Course is there, you will be sent to it. Several games after that, I met against a farmer player. Or as I like to call ourselves, farmer mains. We farmer mains are one of a rare species that exists in PvP game mode. Well, from my experience, we had to drop our ego from the peasants who once shamed our glorious farm tower, in order to prevent farm bans. Even if we lose our image as a skilled PvP player at the start of PvP full release. Immediately seen as an idiot when using it, a simple PvP prey. We secretly rise through our triumphs. And realize only the result matter, and not the words of strangers. We fall, only to rise again. I feel like someone else said this, but I don't know who. Not all farmer mains are equal. Some were already consumed by greed to abuse farm's true potential. Even if it could cost a win, cause I love money. I started with a lot of farms, completely ignoring defenses for a couple of waves. I'm taking advantage of every second wasted for my passive economy to give me more money for more farms. With this advantage I was able to outfarm my opponent and possibly outsend him and got a better passive economy. 1750 eco is usually a sweet spot to be able to decently defend against any rushes. This allow me to stack consumables early too. Around wave 18 this is our setup. I got a huge eco advantage here. And with that advantage I sent some fallen necros to create some enemy spam. And then fallen heroes for the kill. After several games of PvP, starting on Major 1, I finally reached the big leagues, the top 1%. General rank. How many games did this took? 18 games. Here's a stat comparison from Major 1. Not much. All thanks to the newest eco change where they doubled the elo gain. Unfortunately, at the cost of losing more, an equal amount of the elo gained from the winner. Basically, every elo from a win I got, was taken from my opponent. This was both a good and terrible change, but for now, from experience, it's amazing. Surely it won't take too long to get General 3 at this pace, right? Yeah, we're still good so far. During this, I adjusted my strategy a bit, featuring the military base. What could military base possibly be used? Wave 20 collision DPS. I'm gonna use it to kill some fallen hero early, especially Nimble. Military base sucks on its earlier levels. It's only best to use it when you can afford at least a level 3. Tanks are just something else. They help you stall out your death from fallen heroes, so your opponent can lose to your rush earlier. I paired it up with Accelerator that has the most insane cost efficiency value for a late game tower, at the time. Which just turns wave 20 into a joke. Necromancer, a mid-game to late-game spawner tower, utilizing souls of the undead to repurpose them as our minions. For a tower that costs 1,100 to place, surely it can't be used as an early tower. And even if it does, it certainly can't sustain itself alone. Oh, okay. That's right, you can actually use this tower for early game. There was a reason that in almost every PvP game, this tower gets banned. I even do it myself. But I wanna try something different for once. I knew how stupid it is for early game. So when I got the chance to use it, well, I took the opportunity. We both ended up using Necromancer, fair. But who gets to use it better?
The beat starts here.
Then she dies from Eco Sends. Alright, let's do it again. And I died from the same thing. Absolutely. Wonderful. The greed got me killed. I had one actual game with Necromancer. But unfortunately, for me, people started banning farm. I have to get used to the farmless brainless gameplay. And constantly send to up my economy. Compared to farming, my defenses aren't that good. This game was just extremely tight. After a few games of PvP, I heard of another meta, which is as equally as stupid as Necromancer, the Scout meta. What could a normal early game tower be so good? It has more cost efficiency than Accelerator, while also getting full buffs from support towers like Commander. It's insane. PvP is perfectly balanced. So once I tried it, you will likely assume I would use Scout as an early game tower to get its full value. Haha, if only I was comfortable with it. I used Shotgunner so I can farm more, and literally only used Scout as my late game DPS. Anything but using it as intended. I was able to get a lot of farms in this game, even sneaked a max farm, and got a bunch of max scouts before wave 20, now let's see how it performs. It literally spawn killed nimble fallen heroes. Just amazing. I abused Scout a lot after this, until I faced Ryan. It's not actually Ryan, just a friend in his account. But this game just shows how insane Scout was. We both share almost the same loadout, except she went for Accelerator and DJ. Early game is the same, we both used Shotgunner. But I tried to greed a little more on my farms since I'm in an eco disadvantage cause of DJ. She started to stack up on consumables while I up my economy to 2k to be able to get a lot of scouts later. Yeah, no, she didn't send bloated fallen heroes at me, which is understandable since I'm completely ready for it. Though it's concerning to get later with this loadout, since Scout can't get more DPS after maxing out Scouts, so I decided to rush on wave 23 instead. That was insane, an early game tower completely defended an entire horde of bloated fallen tanks. Aggro could have killed me though. If you're wondering why Scout got nerfed in PvP, this is why. Remember when I said that General 1 won't be too bad? I've been stuck at the rank for over 30 games at this point. I've had so many losses when I started General 1. But, after so many games, I have finally gotten to General 2. The second last rank of PvP, there's only 300 elo left that's separating me from Champion Accelerator. I think this will take a while to reach General 3 after getting in General 2. Good thing I have a new strategy to main. A strat that combines two of the dumbest meta. Necromancer and Scout. Necromancer for a super easy early game that lets me greed a lot, and as my late game main DPS. While Scout is my late game sub DPS. I won't be using Scout as my main DPS since there's one neat thing about Necromancer that almost every other Necro users won't do, which is getting one maxed super early. This can easily demolish fallen hero rush, with even more cash to spare, while Scout can easily chip them down and potentially kill some while Necromancer is charging his graves. Only a few games after entering General 2, I am now halfway finished to completing this PvP season. But more people have slowly been banning farm, which had helped me gain enough money to easily defend wave 20 rushes. But, they didn't ban Necromancer. Most Necromancer users just stop at level 2 Necromancer. Since level 3 Necromancer is underwhelming and max Necromancer is too expensive. Even if they had farm, they still stop at level 2. But I was one of the 1% of these users. So I took advantage of those people and stopped banning Necromancer. And become the Necro Menace. In just a few games, I only needed under 100 elo left. I hopped on a new game and found someone generous to give me free elo. Then we talked how trash the PvP grind is. Somehow I got in the basic arena. Thanks to that dude, I only need one more win to receive the champion's honor. After 147 games, 23 losses, I have finally reached General 3, and obtained the Champion Accelerator. I only got one loss on General 2 surprisingly. So these are my stats after getting to General 3. I finished the PvP pass before the summer pass, since I find it pretty fun, when a lot of people were playing. After General 3 I just stopped playing PvP since there wasn't any reason to do and it's dead. For a game mode that had plenty of public test sessions before, it was somehow incredibly rushed. I don't think Basic and Molten Arena PvP were changed since last public PvP testing. Anyways, if you like what you see, subscribe, and like the video, or not. Thanks for watching.